And good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Sports Corner Show, and we're here every Tuesday, usually 4 to 5 p.m., but we're here 4 to 6. We have 2-hour specials going all the way up to the draft. This afternoon at around 5:30, Jerry White will join us. And he's going to talk with us about the Buffalo Bills, what they're up to in the draft, free agency, and what's happening with the Bills for this year. We're also going to indulge into the linebackers available in the draft and also free agent linebackers as well. So we're going to indulge into that. Coming up, I have some audio from this afternoon's press conference with Mike McCarthy at the NFL meetings. We're going to indulge into that as well. I have that audio coming up later on. So we have a lot to talk about today. And the comment section's wide open, and we're live here on the Sports Nuts Network and KFC Radio 95.5 in Terrell, Texas. And also the UK, I want to shout out to Jill, who's listening, and Mark in Australia as well. So I just want to let everyone know that. And we're also on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. We're also on the Kick Network and on the Twitter X platforms as well. So just to let everyone know that. And don't forget, coming up tomorrow night, the Sports Nuts Show at 7:30 p.m. with Brandon Keeler as your host, Matt Thomas and Shane Owen and Ben Willis. All right, let's get into our rants today, and we'll start off with you, Smokin' Jim. Go ahead. I'll let you start first. Smokin' Jim's wisdom. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Ralph, man. How are our lovable losers doing? The Pittsburgh Pirates. You know, the Pittsburgh Pirates, man, I'm 1-3. I must have missed that one, but same old Buccos. But hey, over the weekend, I went to a banquet called the Willie Thrower Banquet. Willie Thrower, for people that don't know, was the first black quarterback in National Football League history. He won 2 state championships in high school and a national championship at Michigan State. And made his appearance, got drafted by the Chicago Bears. So it was a great banquet, the 7th annual Willie Thrower Banquet, headed up by B.B. Flannery, a great basketball player from Duquesne University, who was a cousin of Willie Thrower. And now Willie Thrower is getting really national recognition thanks to B.B. Flannery and the people that's on that committee. So congratulations again to Willie Thrower and the Willie Thrower Foundation.
All right, very good. Thank you, Smokin' Jim. Very good as always, Smokin' Jim's wisdom. I can kind of add a little bit to what Smokin' Jim had to say. The Pirates started out 1-3. But here's the thing that really bothered me about last week. They had their home opener last Friday. And it turns out that Paul Skeens pitched, and he didn't pitch very well. 1 inning, it was embarrassing on national TV. O'Neal Cruz did a couple, bumbles in the center field. And, of course, the team kissed his butt, and they went ahead and, it's just blues. You had all of spring training, O'Neal. You had all spring training, Don Kelly. You had all spring training to do something about O'Neal Cruz and what he does wrong in center field. I can't figure out how in the world a man who's been playing that position now for 2 years, this will be a second year, cannot figure out how to catch a fly ball, cannot figure out how to field a ball in the center field, and can't figure out what to do. All right? Here's the problem with the Pirates. They pay these guys, the Brian Reynolds of the world, the O'Neal Cruz, the Key Brian Hayes, all these guys they pay all this big money to. And tell me something, Smokin' Jim, what do they do? What do they do, Smokin' Jim? Nothing. They do nothing. They do nothing. Brian Reynolds strikes out every time with men on base. O'Neal Cruz can't find his way out of a paper bag. Okay, they paid Key Brian Hayes. He had a bad back and could only play defense and couldn't hit worth a darn. Okay, you don't pay people like that don't perform. The Steelers are good for that, and now the Pirates are following in sequence, overpaying people that don't perform and can't perform. Pirates, you want to get your act together? How about getting your players together, especially the ones you're paying money to? And that's my rant for today about the Pittsburgh Pirates. Shameful, very shameful. All right, let's get into this audio. I'm going to play a little bit today. Mike McCarthy was asked questions, of course, about Aaron Rodgers. And once again, my opinion is, Smokin' Jim, and I think you'll agree with me, this should have been done. This should have been done this month. They should have gave Aaron Rodgers an ultimatum. Tell us by March so we can go into the draft and figure out what we're going to do. Please let us know what you're going to do. Don't stretch it out to training camp. Don't stretch it out to this. And now I'm hearing he wants $30 million. If that's the case, I'd tell Aaron Rodgers where to eat it. But that's me. All right. Your thoughts, Smokin' Jim, on this Aaron Rodgers thing. What do you think?
One, I don't believe the reports that he wants $30 million.
Yeah, that's probably not true, but it's out there.
I think he deserves $30 million, but if he played last year for 10 or 12 million, I think 15 million is he won't go beyond that. I would give him up to the first game of the season. I don't like to rush superstars. The greatest quarterback. My favorite quarterback of all time was Brett Favre, and he used to do similar things. As long as you get a sense that he's going to play, take as long as you can. These guys they don't need mini camp. They don't need training camp. You know what I mean? They just need.
They don't need volunteer workouts.
They don't need all that.
All that,
They don't need all that. And the gunslinger will show up on game time and do his thing. But like you always say, they got to put a pretty good offensive line around him, and they haven't done that yet.
No, they have not. Not at all. And they need to do something here. Now, I want to look at this before we go into Mike McCarthy's audio from today's press conference. Pittsburgh Steelers here, the mock draft from ESPN, and I believe it's Mel Kiper. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I'm not real sure, but it's an ESPN mock draft that says the Steelers are taking Caden Proctor, offensive tackle out of Alabama. Well, do we take another offensive lineman out of Alabama? Broderick Jones hasn't worked out. Najee Harris hasn't worked out. Isaiah Buggs is in the UFL. So that's 3 players from Alabama that I just mentioned right now off the top of my head and haven't done anything with the Steelers. Go ahead, Smokin' Jim.
Well, obviously, maybe Mel Kiper thinks that Blake Miller from Clemson would be gone. I think he's the best swing tackle.
Miller. Yes.
Yeah, he's the best swing tackle in the league. I like guys with a lot of experience. Blake Miller's been a starter from day one as a freshman at Clemson. They play a high-level football down there, and I think he's a guy that can step in for you. A lot of the players at Alabama, like you said, Ralph, is sometimes they only start 1 year because of the competition. They got to wait their turn, and they're very, very raw when they come to the National Football League. You almost got to teach them everything from scratch, and most National Football League coaching staff don't have a really good offensive line coach. So I agree with you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know who this guy is that Mike McCarthy hired, but I do know he's worked with Mike McCarthy in the past. And, I hear his coaching tree is pretty good. So if Mike McCarthy's pretty confident that this guy can maybe do something with this offensive line and protect Aaron Rodgers, I think we'll be okay. All right, let's get into this audio right here that I have from today's press conference, which happened earlier today down at the NFL meetings. And Mike McCarthy, here's some of his stuff right here.
Mike, I'll ask again how the conversation there going.
Good.
I was telling Bert this on the way over here. 2006 was my first time doing this, and the first question was about a veteran quarterback, whether he's going to come back or not. So it's a big deja vu. But no, it's going good. It's been very positive, and we'll just continue to talk. So we talk regularly.
Were you confident then, and are you the same level of confident now?
That's a great question. It was a different tone then because I was just a youngster, and the questions, your questions are a lot more, were very polite compared to the way the questions were asked back then. So, but yeah, I'm confident. But at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. So I think we're in a good space.
Mike, you were kind of alluding to this yesterday. Depending on the city you're playing, cold weather Green Bay, cold weather Pittsburgh, as opposed to warm weather Dallas, is a type of quarterback bigger, stronger, more physical type of quarterback necessary? You know what I mean?
Well, I just think it's part of your preparation, and it's part of your it's part of your planning as far as what your system's going to look like. Because at the end of the day, the most important games are in December and January, and to be able to play in those games in an outdoor, it requires to play a certain way, and that was always evident in my time in Green Bay. And yeah, there's things that you do for the surface, the type of shoes, you make sure your guys wear all those little details. Those are the things that I think about, and even when we're talking about player profile.
Okay, well, you're listening here to the Mike McCarthy press conference this afternoon at the NFL meetings. Here we are.
The player is important in the outdoor climates, in my opinion.
How similar do you anticipate your offense being in Pittsburgh to what you were doing in Green Bay, especially if Aaron does?
Similar as in, it's going to be the same offense structurally as far as the beliefs, the principles, the philosophical approach, the depth in the details. But, it's very important, in my opinion, systematically, if you draft a player that has unique talents and you say he doesn't fit my system, I've always felt that you got to take a look at your system. So we got to be able to have room. We got to have a big enough arrow so when Omar and the personnel, we sit in there and we decide, to draft these young men that we have a place, for them.
Okay, Smokin' Jim, what do you think of what he had to say so far here in this press conference?
So far, so good.
Yeah, I know he's saying everything everybody kind of wants to hear, more or less. I mean, he talked about December football, which of course is very, very important because you're getting close to where the playoffs are coming up, Super Bowl, that kind of thing. So, I played you a little portion of that. I'm not going to play you the rest. I might play some more later. But we got a lot of things to get into here today, including we're going to go to our NFL draft buzz. We already did our mock draft, the ESPN mock draft that says that the Steelers are taking Proctor from Alabama, the offensive tackle. So we're going to see what happens there today. But we're going to go into the NFL draft class of linebackers, and then we're going to dissect the free agents. So let's go into that right now. The top 12 by NFL draft buzz. We'll start at number 12, and we're going to go with, let's see here, Terran York, Texas A&M, 226, 5'11". What do you think, Smokin' Jim?
Very good linebacker, man. A tweener. Doesn't fit the Steelers system, man. Too light in the butt.
Oh, I know. I see that. Excuse me for a minute here. I had a frog in my throat. All right. Number 11. You're not going to believe this. You ready, Smokin' Jim?
Yep.
I'll give you a hint. He played for Pitt.
Pitt, yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Lewis is at number 11. Yeah. Well, you know what? They've got the Steelers taking him in the second round, maybe. And who knows? Maybe somebody will take him in the first round. Kyle Lewis is on here. Your thoughts on Kyle Lewis? He was an explosive player at Pitt. He did well. Had a lot of injuries, but he did well. You know what I mean? As much as he could.
Well, another tweener player. I mean, he could be a strong safety for some teams. You know what I mean? He'll definitely start off on special teams. That's good that Pitt maybe had one player that made to the combine this year.
Yeah.
And that was him.
Well, there were two of them. Desmond Reed made it too, I think. So
Did he do anything at the combine?
I don't know what he did at the combine. I'm not sure. I would have to
Okay,
look it up.
because he had
but
that injury.
yeah,
I
well,
thought he
he's
was
always
saving
he's
himself.
always in the
I
tub.
thought he was saving himself for his pro day, but
He might have. I don't know.
But
So,
like you said, he probably got invited, but he
yeah.
didn't go. I don't think. But like I said, a second round is a little bit generous for a tweener like him. But he had a good college career. He's an explosive player. I don't know if he can make the transition to strong safety, but that's where I would play him.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of a linebacker that was not a bad linebacker, plays for Tampa Bay right now, but he just came around last year, Savassier Dennis. He was a special teams player the first year. And then last year he came into play because of injuries and did pretty well. And this year I hear he's fighting for a starting job. So at least he's in contention. I talked to my friends down in Tampa, and that's what they tell me about him. Now, Kalijah Cansey, on the other hand, has been in the tub too much, Smokin' Jim. As I always say, can't help the club if you're in the tub. He's been hurt. He hasn't had a chance to really play much. He's on his rookie contract, and they're talking about either trading him or cutting him or doing something. They're going into the draft full force looking for defensive players for the line because they don't have anybody right now. They thought Kalijah Cansey was the thing down there, and he ended up kind of laying an egg. So but sometimes don't you think, Smokin' Jim, that sometimes some of these scouts overanalyze some of these players? I mean, some of them that like that.
Yeah, they sure do, man. And you hit it on the head, brother. They sure do.
All right, from Alabama. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dante Lawson, 226, 6'3", Alabama. What do you think of him? Too small?
Yeah, for the Steelers.
Okay.
For a team that plays a 4-3 defense and they can keep the offensive linemen off your linebackers, he could fit somewhere, but not if he got to take on blocks.
All right, Jacob Rodriguez, numbers 9, from looks like Tennessee. Tennessee. It says here, Jacob Rodriguez, 231, 6'1", 457 in the 40-yard dash. What do you think of this guy?
Had a great career, beast, man. Somebody's going to get a really good player.
Well, Cincinnati got another good player in here on defense. A guy named Jake Golday. I saw him in a couple games. He's like a Jack Sawyer. If he's sitting there and I'm the Steelers, I'd take him. He's an outside linebacker who might be a good edge rusher. 239, 6'4", ran a 4.62 in the 40. What do you think of this guy?
What round would you take him if you're the Steelers?
Well, he's rated number 8 in the draft, Buzz. So it depends on his rating, and I don't know. I have to see if I'm the Steelers, I wouldn't take anybody linebacker wise unless he's really good. I mean, somebody that you really think is good. If this guy's good, I don't know, maybe second, third round, maybe. If he slides, he might even get in it. It all depends on what other teams need. And then on top of that, it all depends on how desperate they are. Let's say they need a linebacker and they reach. How many times have the Steelers reached for players? How about Terrell Edmonds? How about Troy Edwards? How about that?
Good point.
Everybody forgets about them guys. All right, let's take a look.
But anyhow, before you move on, he's worthy. He's worthy.
I think he's another Jack Sawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him play a few times. I watched a couple Cincinnati games this year, and he looks pretty good. So we'll see. He's rated number 8. And I don't think the draft buzz would rate him that high if he wasn't that good. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to wait and see with him. All right, Isaiah Trotter, 237, 6'2". What do you think of him?
Come from a great family, man. His dad was great. He got some brothers that were great that played in the NFL. So, yeah, I like that.
I think he'll follow in his footsteps there, I think. So we'll see. With a name like that, you know what they say, with a name like Smuckers, it has to be good. So with a name like Trotter, it has to be good. So we'll see. Gabe Jackus, edge rusher, linebacker, 260. Here's my kind of guy, 6'4", from Illinois, the Fighting Illini. They have a pretty good defense. What do you think of this? Number 6.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, I like his size. I mean, 6'4", 260. He's looks like another Levon Kirkland kind of guy. I mean, Kirkland was what about 280, 300?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, kind of like that. You don't see too many of those guys, but all right. Number 5, Anthony Hill Jr. from the Texas Longhorns, 238, 6'2", 451 in the 40. What do you think?
Great. He would be a great player.
Oh, yeah, I think so. He's not number 5 for nothing. All right, number 4, C.J. Allen, Georgia, 230, 6'1". What do you think of him?
He's a beast, man.
Oh, you know this guy won't be available. I'll guarantee you he won't be available. He's rated the top linebacker in the draft, actually, but he's at number 3 here. Sonny Styles from Ohio State, 244, 6'5".
Franchise player, man.
Yeah, he won't be
Franchise
available.
player.
And they,
I mean, if I'm drafting, he's the number 1 pick in the entire draft. That's how good he is, man. And come from a football family. His brother's going to get drafted pretty high this year as well. And, so the lineage is tremendous. His size and athletic ability and explosiveness is what you dream about. So, yeah.
all right, here we go. Another one from Ohio State. Now, you know what? This doesn't surprise me because in case you don't know, Smokin' Jim, Ohio State's defensive coordinator is Matt Patricia, former New England Patriots and the Detroit Lions head coach. Oh, you don't want to know the names they call him up in Detroit, do you, Smokin' Jim? Oh, my gosh. All right, his name is Arwell Reese. He's another one, 4'6" in the 42, 41, 6'4", perfect size. A little bit underweight, but not bad at 241. What do you think?
Another great one. You right, bro. Another great one, man.
All right, this is Texas Tech, it looks like. Yeah, I believe it's Texas Tech here. David Bailey, 251, 6'4", 450, number 1 rated in the NFL draft buzz. What do you think of him?
Man, I tell you what, man, the teams that need linebackers is going to get something at the top of this draft, man. No doubt about that.
All right, let's go to the lower part. Let's go from 24 down to 13, since we did the 12. There's some guys in here. There might be some tweeners or whatever, like you say. How about Michigan here? Jimmy Rolder. He's rated number 22, a little undersized, 238 at 6'2". He ran a 4.68 from Michigan, rated 80.1. What do you think of this guy?
Like him a lot, brother.
Yeah, usually some good linebackers come out of Michigan. Well, did I say good linebackers? How about Devin Bush?
There you go.
How about Devin Bush?
There you go.
Hey, we've had some good Michigan players. Jeremy Tooman. Remember him? Oh, my gosh. He was good. We had him out of Michigan. Of course, Michigan always has good tight ends, too, so. Yeah, but all right, here we go. This is from Indiana. This guy might get drafted because he played for Indiana. Aiden Fisher, and I watched him play in the national championship game. 6'1", 232, 4.70. What do you think of him? He's rated number 23.
A little bit short, on the short side, but I tell you what, man, he could play. He made some plays in the big games.
I saw that. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here. Justin Jefferson. I don't know if he's related to the one that plays for the Minnesota Vikings. 223, 6 feet. Ugh, I don't know. He played for Alabama. What do you think?
I would try to move him to strong safety.
That might be that might not be a bad idea. If you get the right coach that can coach him there, that might not be a bad idea.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So all right, here we go. Red Murdoch. What a name here, Red Murdoch. There we go. All right. I like somebody with a name like Red and the last name Murdoch. So there you go. 232.62. What do you think of him?
Wow. Not bad.
I think he's
Not
with
bad.
Connecticut. Connecticut,
Yeah,
he come
not
out
bad.
of.
Not bad.
No. Jim Mora was his coach. So if Jim Mora was his coach, you know he's good from Connecticut.
Yeah.
So, all right, Texas Longhorns, Trey Moore, 243.62. This ain't a bad deal here. At least he's got a little bit of weight on him for the size. What do you think?
Where they got him ranked right now?
Number 18. This is
Okay,
from the
wow,
NFL
that's
Dress, or the NFL Buzz, I mean.
That's a little low for him. Man.
Yeah, I know.
I thought he'd be higher than that. I would have to check the medicals to make sure there's something that didn't pop up, because I thought he'd be higher than that. But yeah, he's worthy.
Next week, I'm going to have the ratings from some of the publications next week on some of these guys, where they stand in their mock drafts and all that stuff. So we're going to get indulged into all that. We did the ESPN one at the beginning of the show here. Bryce Botcher from Oregon, 6'1", 233. What do you think of this guy? He's at number 16. He's ahead of Dre Moore. You there, Smokin, Jim?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I like him, but some of these rankings, man, is throwing me for a loop here.
Yeah, I know. Here, they got number 15, linebacker edge rusher Mason Reiger from Wisconsin, 251.65. That's not bad size for edge rusher. He's from Wisconsin. So
a lot of times what they do with those guys is what some teams was probably going to do with Sawyer, is not give him a shot at linebacker, beef him up and make him a defensive end. But I think, like Sawyer, I think this guy could play linebacker, man, given the right opportunity, man. So if I'm Pittsburgh,
if he's sitting there in the second round or something, I'd take him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of guys, everybody, in the draft that might not be on the Steelers board, but if they're there and the Steelers like them and they go, wait a minute, this guy's still here? We didn't think we could get him. Let's go.
Right.
You know? I mean, that's exactly what happens. It happens every draft. I mean, you know. So, hey, look, the Steelers drafted Bubby Brister, remember? We didn't expect that.
Yes, true.
All right. Brian Pettit from Outlaw Media says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Brian. Thank you. Also, my co-host on the Saturday Sports Show. So, all right. Also, let's see who we got here. LaShawn Barham, 246.4, edge rusher from Michigan. What do you think of him?
I like him.
Yeah, they got him at number 13 in this list here. So, all right, let's go into NFL.com and let's see what they have, who they have rated what in what area here. Lance Zerling has a, let's see here. Let me see what he has. Okay, his top players for number one, Lance Zerling from the NFL Network, Smokin' Jim. His top players are Arwell Reese, David Bailey, Reuben Bain Jr., and Miami product Akeem Masseter and Zion Young. Those are his top ones. And Malachi Lawrence he has as well. Okay?
Okay.
So that's his number ones, all right, for this draft. The Read Optional has the following here for their assessment. All right, they have, well, this is part 2. I don't have part 1. But they have a part 2 here of something. ESPN. All right, let's go into, of course, we got Mel Kiper here. Got to put his 2 cents in it. Let's see here. All right, here. Top 15 linebackers in the draft. No, we're not going to go into that. All right, let's go into, all right, let's look at our Instagram here. NFL Draft Tops, and this is from We Are Drafting. They have Sonny Styles at number 1, Smokin' Jim, and we just talked about Sonny Styles. Okay, let's see who we have here on the chat line. iBat says hello. How are you? How you doing there? What's this? iFat. How you doing there, iFat? He says hello. Hello back. All right. Anthony Hill at number 2 says we are drafting. Jacob Rodriguez at number 3. CJ Allen at number 4. At number 10, they have Bryce Bollinger from Oregon. And then I forgot about this TCU guy here, Smoking Jim. K.M. Alarms Orr from TCU. I watched him play a couple games. He's not a bad player. What do you think of him?
You know, I like linebackers, brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there might be some of these guys available because some of these teams might not be looking for a linebacker. But if the Steelers see something here, I think they're going to take some of these guys. You know, it wouldn't hurt because if they can get a good guy and get maybe another free agent, I think we'll see the end of Highsmith. I think Highsmith will be out, and we need to get Herbick in there. And I think somebody has to go, Smoking Jim. I'm sorry. Some of these salaries, do nothings and not performing up to par. Have to go. I mean, I'm sorry, and we'll see here. Teron York from Texas A&M. He's at number 6. Number 7's Kyle Lewis. Jake Goday, the one I like from Cincy, he's at number 8. And then at number 5 is Josiah Trader. And then he has at number 1 Sonny Styles, Anthony Hill, Jacob Rodriguez, and CJ Allen, the top 4. And that's from Instagram, and we are drafting. Okay. So that's from that publication right there. So just to let you know. All right, let's get into free agent linebackers available in the draft. Let's take a look at that. All right, folks, we're going to play some more of this. Mike McCarthy press conference today. I played the first little tidbit. We're going to play the rest later. We're going to play some tidbits all the way at 5:30 this afternoon. Stay tuned here. Jerry White will join us. He's going to talk with us about the Buffalo Bills. We've already covered the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've already covered a few other teams. We've covered all the AFC North except Cincinnati. We've covered Washington Commanders, the Ravens. We've covered the LA teams, the Chargers, and we've covered the Las Vegas Raiders. And we've also covered the the Rams. I got to get somebody on from the Rams, Arizona as well, Denver, and we've covered New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons. We've covered quite a few teams here so far, and I'm working on getting the rest on here real soon. So next week we're going to have Marcus McCullum on. He covers the Chicago Bears. He also has a podcast. He'll be on and joining us next week. He was going to try to be on this week, but he had a conflicted schedule. But he's going to try to come on next week with us, Marcus McCullum, and he'll join us, talk with us about what's going on with the Bears. And we're also going to talk a little bit about Chicago sports, the White Sox and the Cubs. What do they look like this year in baseball? We'll pick his brain on that, too. All right, Smoking Jim, let's get into the 2026 free agents that are possibly available. Bobby Wagner, what do you think of him?
He's an old man, but he still got maybe a year left in him. But I would stay away from Wags. But he had a great career. He's a Hall of Famer, man. But he's an old man now.
Yeah, I see that here. DeMario Davis, 37 years old. I don't know about him. They said Pro Football Focus still gives him a high grade. What do you think of DeMario Davis?
I would stay away from anybody that's old, man. That old.
Anybody that's old. I like anybody that's old. Yeah. All right. Stay away from anybody that's old. There you go.
Yeah, man.
All right. Alex Anazone, solid veteran starter with consistent production. Your thoughts on him?
I don't remember seeing him play last year. Who did he play for last season?
Hold on. It's not listed here. Hold on.
Okay.
I can find out, though. I'll find out. I'll get back to you on that one. Jermaine Pratt, top tier available linebacker, recognized for solid play.
Yeah, Pratt's a good one. But again, we're talking about a team like the Steelers who were looking to weed out some of the linebackers because we got too many. We're not looking to add to that room, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm frustrated too with Patrick Queen. I mean, he was kind of up and down last year, and they overpaid to get him in here. And you know, there's a lot of, like I said, overpaid guys on the team. That and that's why I like Mike McCarthy's hire, because Mike McCarthy won't put up with that. You know what I mean? You know. So we'll see. All right, here we go. I'll tell you who Alex plays for. Oh, he got long hair. I love it. He plays for the Detroit Lions. I think he went to another team, I think, already.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
do remember him now.
Yeah, he went to another team, I think, but I know as of right now, from what I'm reading here, he plays for the Lions. So, all right, Jermaine Pratt. We already went over him. Matt Milano. Here we go. Claudio's linebacker, Matt Milano. Anybody that's an Italian, quality coverage linebacker returning to the market. So,
yeah, we like him.
Alex Singleton, experienced run stopper. There we go. We need somebody to stop the run. The Steelers need somebody to stop the run. There you go. All right. And then, guess who's on this list, Smokin' Jim? And I don't think he's been signed yet. You ready?
Yeah.
Take a guess. Come on.
Devin Bush?
No, Tremaine Edmonds.
Whoa, get out.
Yeah, he's
Get
on this
out.
list. Tremaine Edmonds. I wonder if he got signed. Hold on, let me. Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds. Oh my gosh. Oh.
That's Terrell's brother.
Terrell's
right?
brother, yeah. Yeah. Let me see. He went to he's with the Giants now. He was with the Bears. I think the Giants signed him. Yeah. Yeah, he's with the Giants. They signed him. So this is his third team. He went to Buffalo too. He was with Buffalo for a little bit too. You know, so wow. Isn't that something? Oh my. Well, he's not on the list now. He's off the list. So you know what they always say, don't you? You made the list. Remember that one?
Yeah,
you made the list. So at least he made the list. All right, let's look into some more guys here. Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. I don't want that one. I got the wrong list here. Jeez, sometimes I push the wrong button. My fingers are so big, Smokin' Jim. I probably have to use one of those Titleist things to push the buttons.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, one of those things. You know, sometimes I have to use one of those. All right, let me see what we got here. All right, NFL. All right, there we go. All right, and then we're going to get into, as soon as we're done looking over this list here of free agent linebackers, we are going to get into some more of this Mike McCarthy thing. And then at 5:30, don't forget we have Jerry White coming on today. Talk with us about the Buffalo Bills. So let's see what we got here. No, that ain't it. Oh, wait. There we go. All right. There we go. Nope. There we go. Finally made it. All right. The ones that are still available to Smokin' Jim, Caton Ellis. Yeah, but he's been still signed. He has a 3-year contract available. Also, Leo Chenell. He signed for a 3-year contract as well. I'm looking to see who else is available here for the free agent linebackers. Okay, here we go. Devin Lloyd signed a 3-year contract. He was available. Alex Singleton signed a 2-year deal, Smokin' Jim. He's with Denver. So he's not available. So I want to let you know that. Alex Azzoni, he signed a 2-year deal with Tampa Bay, Smokin' Jim. So he's no longer with the Lions. So there you are there. Demario Davis signed a 2-year deal, $22,000 with the Jets. Leo Chanel signed with the Redskins. Caden Ellis signed with the Saints. Tremaine Edwards, as I said, signed with the Giants, Smokin' Jim. So there you are, Tremaine Edwards. So N'Kobe Dean, 3-year deal with the Raiders. The Raiders are really loading up here. The Raiders. Quay Walker, too, the Raiders. So Devin Lloyd, Quincy Williams went to Cleveland. Jake Martin went to Tennessee. Jack Gibbons went to Arizona. Trey Greenlaw went to San Francisco, a 1-year contract. 2-year deal, Luke Gifford. Jake Hummel, 2 years with the Texans. Grant Stewart with the Rams, it looks like. Yeah, the Rams. Micah McFadden, New York. Some of these teams are loading up on these linebackers, Smoking, Jim. I guess they must need help. Here, Malcolm Rodriguez went to Detroit. Christian Harris is with Atlanta. Denzel Perryman 1 year. Jack Coltrane went to Kansas City. KJ Britt went to New England. Willie Gay Jr. He's with Miami. I'm interested to see what Jeff Hafley does down there. We already heard from somebody from Miami about that, Smoking Jim. Isaiah Simmons, Carolina re-signed. These are all re-signed players. Mohamed Dabedi, almost looks like diabetes there. Trevor Newsack, Christian Welsh 1 year with the Packers. The Panthers, Carolina stacking up on linebackers here. They got another one, Kalern Charis, Garrett Wallow from San Francisco, Jack Sanborn. Remember him, Smoking Jim? Came from Wyoming. I wanted the Steelers to take him. What do you think of Jack Sanborn? He's with Chicago now. 1 year deal. Channing Tindall, 1 year deal. Segan Alubi, Christian Rosenblum with the Buccaneers. Chase Surratt, still out there. He signed with no one. Chase Surratt. Chaz Surratt. So what do you think, Smoking Jim, of that list of signed linebackers? What's your thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Well, I'm not surprised they got signed because teams are always in the need of a good linebacker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into some more of this Mike McCarthy interview today, or press conference at the NFL meetings. We're going to get into that here coming up, and let me see if I can locate it here. There we go. All right. And here it is, the Mike McCarthy press conference from today. Oh, wait, here's another one. It was a one-on-one. All right, hold on. Let me see. Oh, here's the one. Okay. Here we are from the NFL meetings, Mike McCarthy.
Everything all right? You good? Okay. All right. That was funny. Is that hey, priorities? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Okay, where the hell were we? Oh God. Yeah, fitness system. So be systematic with your players. So we all run similar plays. Concept teach. It's just how you coach them. The details. Certain receivers have different skill set to how they run an option route. So you got to tie that option route to the quarterback's feet. So all those things. We'll be probably closer to the offense in Dallas than probably what we did in Green Bay. For comparable.
There's everybody's answer on defense.
That kind of continuity at all help maybe give you a little bit more flexibility with Aaron's decision-making timeline, that he has some familiarity with those concepts in Green Bay.
Well, if he was sitting here, I think he would echo the same thing. The quarterback room's going to be coached the same way, whether he's in there or he's not. It's you coach to the lead player, because if you're going to build if you take the passing game, if you're truly going to be tied to the discipline and the footwork and the teachings of how that position plays and it's coordinated with the perimeter, you have to they all have to be synchronized. So that part won't change, and so that's why we're always looking to. I'd have 5 quarterbacks if you could, and I think it's something the league should consider. But I don't think you're going to have enough quarterbacks in your building to train. So it's the starting point of the offense, and that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it will be in Pittsburgh. Oh, definitely. I love the fact that their play styles emulate each other. So that's what I was real excited about with Rico. Having to work with Rico. A big thing that I think is very important for running back. The first question I always ask in the evaluation process: can he play all 3 all 3 downs, because, we all want 4-down players. I mean,
you're listening to the Mike McCarthy press conference from today at the NFL meetings.
Positions, for value. But, these guys both can play all 3 downs, and that's important. It's real important for a play caller because, you want to push the envelope, get in and out of, personnel groups. You also want to be able to stay on the field, right? Go right from 2nd down to 3rd down, go right from 3rd down to 4th down, and no huddle type things. And so having backs that don't have to come out of the game on 3rd down, that's something that I put a lot of value.
Okay, Smokin' Jim, what do you think of what Mike McCarthy said about the running backs? You know how in the past the Steelers have alternated running backs on 3rd down. He wants running backs that can stay in the game. Do you think what we have right now can stay in the game?
Yeah, I know Warren is definitely a 3-down back.
Okay.
And
Dowdy, we just got Dowdy, so I'm not sure exactly if we can, you know what I mean?
Well, Warren is definitely a 3-down back because his first couple years in the league, he was the 3rd down back, and they would take Najee out.
Right.
Last year, he was a 1st and 2nd down back primarily, but I'm not sure about the new guy.
Right.
The new guy is a first and 2nd down back. I don't know how well he catches the football, but he definitely runs hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And don't forget tonight at 7:30 tonight or 7:00 tonight, Bethel Park TV, the Pittsburgh Sports Line show with Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smokin' Jim Frazier, Chip Painter, and whoever else Al can find around the area there to come on the show. So just to let you know that. And also they have a YouTube channel, which you can watch them on YouTube if it's available, and also on their Facebook page as well. Last week they had some technical issues, so you couldn't watch it on there as well. We're here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the show. If you just tuned in, this is the Sports Corner Show. We're here on the Sports Nuts Network, and we're also on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network. And we're also on and speaking of Sports Nuts, don't forget tomorrow night at 7:30 to tune into the Sports Nuts Show with Brandon Keeler, Matt Thomas, and Shane Owen and Ben Willis. So just to let everyone know about that tomorrow and Friday as well. They also do a show on Friday at 7:30. Don't forget to tune into that also. And you might see me on there as well because every once in a while I do come on the show to talk some stuff or to sub-host or whatever. So sometimes you'll see me on as well. And all my sports programming, at least this show, is on here on the Sports Network or the Sports Nuts Network. And check out the ticker tape below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to all my social media platforms. Don't forget to enjoy all that stuff as well. And the Sports Corner radio show, which I put up earlier, and I'll put it up again every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. with me, Ralph Williams, Smokin', Jim Frazier, Claudia Rossano, Luther Dupree. We got a lot to talk about this week, believe it or not. We're not just going to talk about draft. We got boxing fight coming up next week, Smokin' Jim. Tyson Fury on Netflix. Oh, my. 17th. What do you think of that fight?
Man, it's good to see that Tyson is still active. He's up there in age now. It should be a really, really good fight, but I favor Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I'm going to well, it's on Netflix. I got Netflix, so now I can watch it for free. As long as it's on Netflix, man, it's mine. So, and we're going to talk about that fight, and I'm going to let you guys do your little I'm going to let you guys do your boxing authorities thing and on the show. And also we have Joe Kuglis coming on for the first 2 segments. He's going to be on to talk with us about the draft. He covers he's with a company called Draft Nation, and Draft Nation has a new facility where they are going to have their draft show. It'll be at the Sahara or the Seneca Club out there in North Versailles. So go on Draft Nation's website and check it out. They originally were supposed to be over at Station Square, but the venue somehow or another got lost in the shuffle or something, so they moved it out to North Versailles. I'm actually kind of glad they did because if it's me, I don't want to be nowhere near the draft downtown. I don't want to be anywhere near downtown Pittsburgh, but that's fine. You know what I mean? So. But anyway, all right, let's get into Smokin' Jim. Some more of this. Here, I got another mock draft from CBS Sports in combination with FanDuel. They have the Steelers taking the Tyson kid from Arizona, the wide receiver. What do you think of this kid?
He's a game
Jordan
changer.
Tyson.
He's good. He's had some injuries over the years. You got to watch out for that, but he's worthy of a first round pick, no doubt.
Yeah, Luther and I have him. I like him too. I've seen him in a couple games this year. I watched Arizona State. He looked pretty good. So he might not be a bad deal for him to go with the Steelers. But that's FanDuel in combination with CBS Sports. They say the Steelers are going to take. Oh, by the way, I want to let everyone know this past week I spoke to some grocery store employees, that I talked to up in Pittsburgh that I know of. And they said the Steelers are going to take a punter in the first round and cut Cameron Johnston. So, all right, Smokin Jim. So he's going to be the competition. I'm hearing stories now. Corliss Waitman might be back for training camp. They're going to sign him to a minimal deal, and they're going to have another punting competition, I think. But we'll find out if they bring Waitman back for that with Cameron Johnston. I think Mike McCarthy likes Cameron Johnston. I think he'll be the punter. So that's just my opinion. Waitman was okay last year, but then at the end of the season, which I don't blame him, he probably got tired out from punting too many times because the Steelers kind of didn't move the football sometimes. They had to punt a lot. So I guess his foot or his toe or whatever gave out, and his velocity wasn't all that great toward the end of the year, and he was shanking punts, and so we'll see what happens this year. So I hope the Steelers go into they got this Homer kid, Smokin Jim. What do you think the Steelers are going to do with this Homer kid? Do you think he'll be a good kick returner, punt returner kind of thing? They say he can be. The Steelers needed that. I've been talking about that for years, about how they need to get a quality return guy. What do you think about this guy?
I wouldn't put all my eggs in one player's basket. You can get return people on the cheap, man. I keep bringing them in till I find one, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. They shouldn't put all their chips in one basket. Should have a plan B on this. I'm not sure what this special teams coach is like, the one that was brought in here with Mike McCarthy. I don't know if we're going to miss Danny Smith or not, but he's going to be down there in Tampa Bay chewing his gum, along with Todd Bowles down there, who I believe should be on the hot seat real soon. His teams haven't done that well. They didn't even make it to the playoffs last year. So, we're going to find out what they do this year, Tampa Bay. And that's where Danny Smith went. And Arthur Smith went to Ohio State. Now, let me ask you this, Smokin Jim. Do you think if Arthur Smith has a bad year and Ohio State doesn't make it, comes up short, you think Ryan Day gets fired? Go.
Well, he won't have a bad year because he won't be calling the plays. Ryan Day's calling the plays. Arthur Smith is just there for his billions.
He's just
good friend to have. Good friend to have, bro.
Yeah, I got you. So, but that's fine. All right, we're going to open it up here a little bit. Smokin Jim, you and I, anything you want to talk about here right now? Go ahead.
Well, I think you hit it on it. Tyson Fury, one of the greatest heavyweights to ever live. I think he's going to go out like most heavyweights. And, when it's by getting knocked out several times, I think he's still a good fighter. I think he'll win this fight. But it's in his blood, man. He made enough money to retire. He made enough money to walk away. But it's in his blood, man, to keep on fighting. So he may fight till he's 50 years old. And that's his whole life. So I'm looking forward to watching him fight again here next week.
Yeah, I want to see what he does next week. And like you said, he has enough money to retire. What do you think of Floyd Mayweather coming back and fighting Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I don't know what Floyd is going to do, man. But they say he's out of money. He made like $1 billion. He made $1 billion, man.
And blew his money.
I guess you can spend it as fast as you can make it.
In Vegas. He's from Vegas or something. Don't he live in Vegas?
Yeah,
That's
he lives
probably
in
why he
Vegas.
lost all of his money. I mean,
Yeah.
he's in Vegas.
Uh,
You know what they say, you lose your shirt,
yeah.
so. All right, the Steelers here, Yahoo Sports. Guess who they have the Steelers taking, Smokin' Jim? Jordan Tyson. The second one I've seen so far today. Jordan Tyson is who they have taken. Yahoo Sports has the Steelers taken. We're going to be reviewing some of these mock drafts, going over some of these things with you to tell you what's going on today. I worked on getting a bunch of guests on today, but it didn't happen that way. A lot of schedule conflicts, but we'll get the guests we need on here to get these teams covered for you this year. Last year I didn't do too much of it because I was in the process of moving, but now that I got my move and my stuff established, we can have a better year with the NFL draft. And don't forget, RW Media Productions is going to be live streaming the draft this year. Myself, Pensman Sports, and Brian Pettit, we're going to be live streaming the draft this year. All rounds we're going to be doing. So it's going to be very interesting to see, that as well. So that's coming up for the draft. Round 1 is on Thursday. Rounds 2, 3, and 4 on Friday. And then on Saturday, 5, 6, and 7. So it's going to be very interesting to see. The Steelers have 12 picks this year. Do they use all 12 picks? Do they trade some of them? Do they move up and down? I think they have like 3 or 4 third-round picks. I'd like to see them do what the Ravens did the year of the Pickett draft, Smokin' Jim, and went out and got some guys. The Ravens went out and got Travis Jones, Mike Falala, and a few other guys in that third round. What do you think?
Yeah, the Ravens didn't sit pat, man. They was active. I didn't like how they handled the Crosby situation.
Yeah, that
was bad. I think they should have been penalized there.
But they got Hendrickson though.
Yeah, so that was good. That was a great move. And so I don't know why the Cincinnati didn't re-sign that guy. He's a beast.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money on offense. T. Higgins is a big payoff. Chase, they gave them a bunch of money. And, of course, Joe Burrows, who's been in the tub last couple of years or whatever, so he hasn't really performed well. Zach Taylor's on the hot seat. I think they were going to fire him at the end of this year. They ended up telling him to get rid of his assistants. He did that, got rid of his coordinators and hired new people. We'll see how that works. And I think this year's the year he's on eggshells, I think. Let's talk a little bit about the AFC North, Smokin' Jim. I know we've gone over some of this stuff, but I think we can talk some more about it right now. Like I said, the Bengals with Zach Taylor. I think this is it. What do you think about Zach Taylor here?
Offensive-minded coach, man.
Yeah.
So that's what teams want, and he got the offensive weapons.
He just got to get an offensive line, Smokin' Jim. Since he's been here with the Bengals, their line stinks.
Yeah, that would help.
Bums like Ladarius Mims. Help. You know what I mean? Another first rounder went the same year as Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
Here we go. Another bum.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
But how about the Cleveland Browns, Todd Monken? What do you think he'll do there?
I don't know. He's in a tough situation until you hang your hat on the quarterback. Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders? Is it going to be somebody else? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, you know what? I just got a word of ridiculous rumor here that the Cleveland Browns are bringing back Joe Flacco.
Are they?
No, I have a new segment I'm doing called Ralph's Ridiculous Rumors. So
okay,
that one is a ridiculous rumor. So there you go. All right, let's get into Jesse Minter, Baltimore. What do you think?
Well, I think he'll do okay. I don't think that he's going to make them back into a Super Bowl team. but I think he'll do okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I got to look at here because I got to see who his offensive coordinator is. DeClain Doyle. He's been in the league 8 years. How's DeClain Doyle going to help Lamar Jackson? That's my question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got Anthony Weaver as his defensive coordinator. Minter's a defensive guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that should work out for him. Let me see who else they got here of notable names on their coaching staff. Lou Esposito's on their staff. He's a defensive line coach, Lou Esposito. Let me see here. Eddie Faulkner, the former running backs coach of the Steelers, are Smokin' Jim. He's on their staff. Sean Flaherty, I've seen him around in circles all around the league. Let me see here. Who else they have on here? Kevin Hartman. They have him on there as well. Let me see who else they have. That's of notable name. I don't see anybody else really. So, but I'd like to know how DeClain Devlin or whatever is gonna motivate Lamar Jackson. I mean, so is Lamar Jackson just a choke player, or is he somebody who can't be coached, or what do you think?
Well, again, I think my feelings of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
All the talent in the world in regular season games doesn't pass well enough, in my opinion, and never worked on his passing to develop for, in the playoffs. And, again.
Oh, yeah, he chokes in the playoffs every year, just about. I mean, Yeah, he doesn't really, so. But anyway, don't forget, coming up at 5:30, Jerry White, who covers the Buffalo Bills and also has some stuff going on. He's going to tell us what's happening with him. And we have what's happening with the Buffalo Bills coming up at 5:30. Jerry White joins us. It's a friend of Brandon Keeler's. So anyone that's a friend of Brandon Keeler's is a friend of this show and is welcome on here anytime. So Marcus McCullum next week, talk about the Bears. We have him coming on. And I'm working on getting a guy come on to talk about Green Bay and Minnesota and a few of these other teams. So I'm working on some of that as we go. So just to let everyone know, we still have some time yet. The draft's not till late April, and I know we're into April now. So we got about 3-4 weeks, and I can start getting some of these guys on here. And we also are going to try to have guys on. I think this week we're going to get Ray Cruz back on. He said last week he had something came up with an emergency in his family. Ray Cruz is going to be back with us this Saturday to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is Liam Cohen going to have sophomore blues? Freshman coach this year, took Jacksonville to the playoffs, had some good talent. Got Trevor Lawrence going again. He had Travis Hunter. So Jacksonville didn't look too bad this year. And for the first year of Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson with the Bears, Smokin' Jim. Let's talk about some of these rookie coaches who actually did quite well this year. You think they're going to have sophomore slumps, or what do you think?
Well, I thought that many of them showed that they were worthy coaches, but in the second year is really when you show your leadership. And let's see how well that they show that they're a leader. The first year is new, everybody's excited. Now a true leader continues that in year 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, we're on Facebook here as well. Don't forget our Facebook page. We need your comments going, for that. So just to let everyone know, and also don't forget we're also on Twitter X. We're live on Twitter X platform. We're on live on the Sports Nuts Network as well. And also don't forget about the Kick Network, and we're live on YouTube as well. So don't forget about all those networks that we're on here as well, in KFC Radio in Terrell, Texas also. So just to let everyone know about that. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 7:30, the Sports Nut Show with Brandon Keeler, Matt Thomas, and Shane Owen every single Wednesday and Friday. Don't forget to tune into that as well. Great guests, great shows. Don't forget to tune into their shows as well. So just to let you know. Don't forget this Saturday. Here we are this Saturday, the debut of the Ralph Williams Show on 93.5 The Beach. So call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, get them here in regards to this show. And please make sure that you tell everybody about the show. It's my debut in the Delmarva area on 93.5 The Beach. So I look forward to you listening, tuning in. And also don't forget about our mailbag, RalphWilliams737@gmail.com. Smokin' Jim. We have some emails here. It says, Ralph, Smokin' Jim, great show as always. Great knowledge of what you're doing and really enjoy this. And this is from Philip. And Philip is in Garfield section of Pittsburgh. So just to let you know, Philip says that we do a good job on the show here and he tunes in. So that's great. For that, Philip. So let's go into some more emails here. Let me see here. Leslie from Lawrenceville. She says, Ralph, Lawrenceville section of Pittsburgh. She says, Ralph, you and Smokin' Jim I'm a great sports fan. I enjoy every minute of it. And so we're having a great time enjoying this and enjoying your show. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's Leslie from Lawrenceville section of Pittsburgh, Smokin' Jim. So there's a couple emails coming from RalphWilliams737@gmail.com. Anything you want to chime in on with sports-related, Pirates, Penguins, Steelers, Riverhounds, therefore, and also draft questions if you have any for us. If we can answer them, we will. And don't forget about that as well. So, and we're still at 5:30 having Jerry White come on, talk with us about the Buffalo Bills also as well. All right, Smokin' Jim, Steelers now. I'm going to play some more of this Mike McCarthy audio. And it seems like everybody seems to go off the air whenever I play it, but that's fine. All right, here we go. We're going to play some more of this Mike McCarthy audio. Here it is from today's press conference at the NFL meetings.
And I feel that we got two guys we can just go play tomorrow with. And I'm excited about those guys.
Like you saw the second one was their safety. Now you got three guys with safety. How does that affect you? How did you see the versatility of all three guys?
Yeah, we're staying right down the same path. We're talking about player flexibility. It's really the first conversation I had with Jalen. Looking at our defense from the offensive perspective, whether you're a pass rusher or a dynamic, secondary player, if you can line up at safety, nickel, dime, and jump out the corner in a matchup situation, there's tremendous value in that. So, and that's why, Brisker, the ability to play multiple positions, and it's going to be the same way in the draft. We're having these same conversations because 17 games is real. 16 games is a long season. You remember when we went from 14 to 16. So position flex is critical, probably in the offensive line more than any position in football. I mean, I haven't had an offensive line. If you look at the statistic of the starts of the five same offensive linemen, the number of games they start and how it equates to winning, it's been going on in our league for decades. So, player position flexibility is something that I put a lot of value in.
Like, what is the Brian Angelico? Did you call him plays? How do you guys know?
I mean, Angelico, Brian is an outstanding football coach. He's the offensive coordinator. Coordinating is probably the toughest job in the NFL. I think going along with the play calling. So to have someone that's like Brian that I'm aligned with, we worked together before. He's got a ton of experience. He's a great teacher. He's a glue guy. His knowledge base is as high as anybody you'd sit down and talk football with. He's been in different systems. So, I mean, he'll do the everyday coordinator things, and I'll do it alongside with him because we have to be connected. So we spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of time talking after the fact, because he needs to keep for instance, what I'm saying is we have a meeting schedule that's set, and then we start at 7:30, and the meeting goes, well, I may get pulled out of there, so my ability to jump in and out of there, he has to be able to keep going. So I've done this before, and so that's the way it works. And I just to think that for me to have the confidence I have in him in year one shows what I think of him, because normally that's something you evolve to.
Okay, Smokin' Jim, your thoughts on what Mike McCarthy had to say there about his relationship with his offensive coordinator? Go ahead.
Very good. I know he's not the most interesting speaker, but if you really listen to him, man, he gives you a lot of good nuggets and facts. He'll let you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about him.
It.
That's what I like about him. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you think Mike Tomlin's going to make you wrong and take a broadcasting job? I heard he went out and hired a agent to find him a broadcasting job. Is he? Do you think he'll go into broadcasting, or do you think that's just a smoke screen, or what do you think?
Well, he didn't just hire any agent. He hired John Madden's old agent. So it looked like I'm going to be wrong.
Yeah.
It looked like I'm going to be wrong.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin lied to you for the first time.
Yeah.
He said he'll never do broadcasting. But you know what?
Yeah.
Never say never. And
that's what you said. You did say that.
Yeah, never say never. You never do. I mean, I didn't think I'd be doing this or be back on the radio again, and I am. And also, don't forget, coming up real soon here, I have to put the pencil to the contract, or the pen to the contract. I have the contract coming up soon, probably in May. We're looking at the Sports Corner radio show. We'll be going weekdays. We'll be on from on Fridays, 3:00 p.m. on 6:20 a.m. WKHB in Pittsburgh. We are finally going drive time, Smokin' Jim. Drive time with the Sports Corner radio show. And also, we're still going to be on weekends on 1250, so please don't think we're just going one way. No, we're still be on 1250 on weekends. You'll get us back-to-back, Friday and Saturday, back-to-back. You can't beat that. 2 days in a row of Sports Corner radio show. That means more information, more sports talk, more of our voices and less of them. Okay, so that's exactly it there. And don't forget, Monday at 2:00, coming soon, 6:20 a.m. WKHB, the Ralph Williams Show, prime time in Pittsburgh on the prime drive time. I love every minute of it, Smokin' Jim. It's going to be a great thing to have us on Fridays on for everyone's drive time home on 6:20 a.m. WKHB. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I'm excited, Ralph. Man, this is I said before the year started that this was your year, man, and it looks like it's proving me right.
Yeah, it's looking that way, and it looks like this year's going to be my year. You're going to hear more of my voice in different outlets. I'm also in Philadelphia Wednesdays, also in Philly. Here, I'll put that up for you, 3 to 4 p.m. this week. This Wednesday, I have, in fact, I'll tell you what, why don't you check it out to see what guests we have coming on. I have a real good guest on Wednesday, 3 to 4. And then the same guest will be on my Saturday morning show, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 1250 The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. But before that, my new show will be on Saturday at 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 a.m. on the 93.5 The Beach, 50,000 watts power in the Delmarva area. So don't forget to tune into the Ralph Williams Show. And then right afterwards, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 1250 The Answer. And also Sunday morning, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., the Ralph Williams Show, along with my co-host, Tony Moreno. And Tony and I will be on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on 1250 a.m. The Answer, just to let you know that as well. And don't forget, every Tuesday, tune in here to the Sports Corner Show. We're here live on the Sports Nuts Network, YouTube, Facebook, and also on Twitter, X, and the Kick Network and Twitch. And so I just want to let everyone know, we're doing 2-hour specials, no wrestle talk but Monday, April 20th, 7:00 p.m. Smokin Jim and I will do a very special post WrestleMania Wrestle Talk. How do you like that one, everybody? Smokin Jim, your thoughts on that show coming up Monday, April 20th. Go ahead.
I can't wait, brother.
Yeah,
I can't
we're going to
wait.
do a special show that day because it's the end of WrestleMania, the weekend of April 17th and 18th. And so I don't want to keep everybody waiting until after the draft because then they're going to be like, oh, we got nothing to talk about. No, wrestling business, we always have something to talk about. So Wrestle Talk will be back right after the draft is over. We'll be back to start the month of May with that too as well. And don't forget on Wednesday, this Wednesday, the re-debut of the Ralph's Opinion Show, 7:30 p.m. and also the Way I See It show also at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. If you're not into sports and you want to listen to some national and general talk, I'll be on as well. So just to let you know about that. All right. I know some people like sports and others don't, but that's fine. If you like sports, you'll be on watching the Sports Nuts Network here on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Talking sports with Brandon Keeler, Shane Owen, and Matt Thomas every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well. All right, Smokin Jim, what are your thoughts on some teams this year? Some of the teams that really had a rough year: Cleveland, Arizona, of course, the New York Jets, the Saints. Some of these teams that had a rough year this year. Do you think they can pick it up in the next year or two? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I do. The Saints have a great opportunity because they're in the Saints are in a pretty weak division, 7-9, I believe, or 8-9, won it last year.
Yeah, that's what Carolina won it last year. Yeah, I'm working on getting somebody on to talk about Carolina too. So I'm working on that.
So the Saints think they may have their quarterback of the future. He's going into his second year, so let's see what happens. So yeah, there has to be optimism, I think, in that whole division from Tampa Bay to New Orleans to Carolina to, all those guys have to think they have a shot because they're all about even in terms of, what stage they are potentially. So making the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Guess who we have on early, Smokin Jim, and maybe we might be able to, we're going to have him on for a little bit here, but, if not, we'll just end it early and do some things later also. So we have Jerry White coming up here, and I want to welcome Jerry to the program. Jerry, welcome.
Hey, what an honor. When Brandon said, I would not officially made it in this world till I've been on with Ralph, I said, make it happen.
Yeah, Brandon was, instrumental in doing that. Thanks for coming on today, Jerry. I hear you cover the Buffalo Bills. You have your own show that covers the Buffalo Bills, and that's why I wanted you to come on today to tell us. And I'm working on getting some other guys that cover teams. I'm trying to do all 32 teams. Talk about the draft and free agency. What's up with the teams as we go pretty much through. We're halfway there, I believe. So, we'll see if we can get the other half too as well. So
Sure.
Say hello to my co-host by phone, Smokin Jim Frazier. Say hello to Jerry White there, Smokin Jim.
Hey, Jerry, what's going on, buddy?
The dynamic duo.
That's
Fun.
That's it. We're on the Sports Nuts Network too, so that's even more dynamic. That's the best thing in the world, man. It's great to be here.
That's a good group for sure.
Yes, it is. Very good group of guys. Absolutely. And I've been filling in for Brandon and helping him out a little bit. So it's always a pleasure to do that as well. So Jerry, let me ask you what's going on with the Buffalo Bills. Where are they looking to draft? They moved up Joe Brady from their offensive coordinator to head coach. Is he deserving of that job? Do you think that they could have went out and got somebody better, or do you think Joe Brady's the man?
No, I was, as a Buffalo Bill fan, I was extremely excited. I'm going over the list of names, but this guy can just coach. I think he was the offensive coordinator for this hurts me to say, being a Notre Dame fan.
Yes.
But I think he was that the OC for the best college football team ever assembled in that 2019 LSU team, and how he communicates with his players. It's a different aura in the locker room from what I'm being told. I was listening to the best Buffalo Bill podcast out there, period, is the Locked On. Joe Marino is by far the best I know.
Right.
And he's got some inside information as far as people in the locker room. He said it's a night and day locker room. That's no disrespect to McDermott. It's just different, right? You can be better or worse, but you can just be different and be okay. And this is less regimental, less military-like, more fun, more family type. Hey, we do it for each other.
Right.
So I was over the moon when he got the nod to lead the Buffalo Bills.
Do you think that real quick here, and then we'll get to Smokin' Jim's questions? Do you think that they did the same thing in Buffalo that they did in Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin? They kind of said, "Look, the voices may be getting old. It's time to move on." And I know McDermott tried to get to the Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin did everything he could to try to get to the Super Bowl or whatever, and didn't get there.
Yeah.
I was kind of right about that. I said the Steelers will never go to another Super Bowl with Mike Tomlin. I was right. And I did make a promise, and I'm going to say this. I did make a promise, Jerry, that if they did go to the Super Bowl with Mike Tomlin, whether they win or lose, if they did go to the Super Bowl, I would do all my shows naked.
Wow. So, praise God, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. So, which is actually good because I didn't really want to do that. But but I was right about that, though.
I think you're right. I think if you keep thinking, look, 9 years in Buffalo, right? And if you keep doing the same things and thinking something different is going to happen, that's insanity, right?
It's insanity. Yes, exactly. Correct.
Yeah, I think it was just time. It was just time.
McDermott and Tomlin being buddies, I think they had the same, what they call cancer. They had the same cancer. They couldn't get to the Super Bowl. And that's just,
But both unbelievable coaches in their own right. And they left their teams and organizations better than when they found them. I think that's something
exactly.
You got to give them credit. Like them or dislike them.
The cupboard wasn't bare, Jerry.
That's exactly right.
That's it. All right, Smokin' Jim, any questions for Jerry?
Yeah, hey, thanks again for coming on, Jerry. I tell you what, man, I'm a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan, and it just seems like they're cursed. Do you think they'll continue to turn into the lovable losers and never win a Super Bowl?
No, I think curses are for vampire movies. I think this is real life. I don't believe in it. I think they're well on their way. They've won more football games since 2020 than any other franchise in the National Football League. They got some great pieces. I don't think that, and I actually really like Brandon Beane. Most Buffalo Bill fans do not. I like what he does from a contract standpoint. He's able to work some deals and talk these guys into maybe it's a little used car salesman. He talks them into taking lower contracts to stay at home and play for Buffalo. I think this draft is going to tell the tale. I think he said on a show with Pat McAfee, he being Brandon Beane, that I like to try to draft based on what my coach wants. Right, I want to give you the players you want that fit your scheme. We're going to see that now with Jim Leonhard coming in. I'm very excited for Leonhard. He hasn't been a defensive coordinator, though. Everyone's like his defenses are amazing. I think they're going to be. I like his mindset, but he wasn't a defensive coordinator in Denver, right? He hasn't been a defensive coordinator since he was in Wisconsin.
Right.
But I'm still very excited that they got Babbage out and he's going to come in and switch into a 3-4. But there are going to be multiple, but this draft, I think, is the most important draft in recent memory for the Buffalo Bills.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Joe Brady was offensive coordinator with the Carolina Panthers, was he not, under Frank?
That's exactly right. That's right.
Yeah, it was. And it was just sad that didn't work out down there. I mean, you had two good coaches with an offensive mind. They still couldn't get it together. So, I mean, that was pretty bad. I never expected Frank Reich with that. You know what I mean?
You got, you going back to Carolina, Ralph, and you got DJ Moore back.
Yeah.
Right? There's the connection there. And I love today during this is the NFL owners meetings going on currently. And,
I was playing stuff from Mike McCarthy. He had a press conference today. I was playing some tidbits from what he had to say. so all through the show here today.
And I love the fact that they said, I just watched the film, and Moore is the exact player that we drafted in Carolina. Just because his numbers were worse this past year in Chicago, he wasn't getting the reps, wasn't getting they really
Right.
You got Odunze and you got all these other people that they're getting the ball to. So his production may have dropped, but I think that was intentional. I don't think his skill set has dropped 1 ounce.
And maybe it wasn't the system with Ben Johnson too. I mean, you have to think about that, Jerry. Sometimes it evolves around the system. Okay. This year, Jonnu Smith played for the Steelers. The system stunk. He really didn't get to play, I guess, the time he needed. We had Pat Freiermuth. We were trying to get the ball to Darnell Washington. And then on top of that, you had, so he was kind of like, that trade we made with the Minka Fitzpatrick trade, that kind of thing. We got Jalen Ramsey. But again, sometimes you can fall, because of the system or the coach. I mean, Ben Johnson, I don't know why he didn't use DJ Moore as much. Maybe Cleve Williams maybe was double teamed. I don't know. But, I think
it just wasn't his guy, Ralph. I think when he come in, he drafted his guy. It just wasn't his person.
Yeah. There might not be no chemistry there, but I'm glad he's back with Carolina. Bryce Young will have somebody to throw to. And if I know Dave Canellis, he'll have something cooking for him. So, I mean, Dave Canellis is a very good offensive mind. Look what he did with Baker Mayfield down in Tampa.
Sure.
And,
who's having a better second half of their career than Baker Mayfield?
Yeah. He's been through a coordinator every year.
Yeah,
they lost Liam Cohen. And now they got Zach Robinson down there, who was just with Atlanta, worked under Raheem Morris.
Right.
And he was a quarterback's coach and some kind of pass game coordinator with the LA Rams for a long time. And the Steelers actually interviewed him before they hired Arthur Smith. Excuse me.
I read that. No, I read that for sure.
Sorry about that. Every time I say that name, I
understand.
So
I understand. Well, I think what DJ Moore adds to this Buffalo Bill roster is he wins at all 3 levels, and not every receiver can do that. So he can certainly, he goes up, he has separation, he gets to the 3rd level. He can be a screen guy. He's not afraid to go across the middle. He's a big body guy. But when you got Josh Allen, Captain America, doing what he does, and James Cook, who led the league in rushing last year, then you throw DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir. I think Palmer's going to have a much better year. He was hurt, and he got hurt in the Atlanta game. And if we can keep Kincaid healthy, between him and Knox and Jackson Halls, who no one talks about, the rookie, probably the best draft pick from last year for Buffalo, who's really –
I apologize. I thought DJ Moore was with Carolina. He's with the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they traded the 2nd-round draft pick for him, and that's kind of the I'm excited because
Josh Allen got somebody to throw to now.
Got somebody to throw. Exactly right.
Yeah. And Joe Brady, I think, will come up with a really good offensive scheme for him.
No question. No question.
Smokin' Jim, you have any more questions for Jerry? Anything you want to add?
No, I'm enjoying the conversation, brother.
All right.
Well, you have low expectations then. You're enjoying this.
Jerry, how's the new ball or the new stadium coming on? What's going on with that?
Unbelievable. It is sensational. I love the fact that it's going to be natural grass, right? And being a Buffalo fan, I'm also excited that they did not go with a dome. Football is meant to be played outside.
A lot of teams are going to dome way because you can use it as, like Smokin' Jim has said many times, you can use it as a multi-purpose facility. I mean, you could have 40,000 seat concerts in there year round. I mean, and stuff like that.
And also like that, it's actually going to be artificial turf on the sideline. So where the players are all the time and the coaches and trainers, all that's artificial turf. And now they got, because part of the lure of being a Bills fan is the weather. That's kind of like the 12th man in Buffalo, right? You got the weather there at Orchard Park. There's my man Brandon.
Brandon checking in. Yeah, there he is.
Man, look at him.
There he is.
That brother, he's going to be the bonding man when he's finished.
He said he's your brother from another mother. That's
There's no question. That's my guy.
I've got a few of those in my lifetime. I got Smokin' Jim's my brother from another mother. There you go.
Heck yeah, I love that. But the new facility is going to be incredible. It's long overdue. And Super Bowl in year 1. Hey, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
are we talking draft?
No, we can talk draft. What's the Bills up to? What are they? What are they looking at?
That's a loaded question.
Do they have a lot of needs, Jerry? That's my question.
No, you're absolutely right. It's a large need, but I think we're in more need of some bodies than we are superstars, right? Because I don't think we're that far around. I mean, I don't think they're that far away. So if you're asking me what I would do, I would trade down. I would utilize, hey, someone's got to come up, and I think Arizona could possibly come up and get a quarterback, get Ty Simpson out of Alabama at that 26 spot. I think that's a good spot right there. And if you trade back and we need a couple more picks, because one pick's not going to do it for us. We're looking at our roster. We are really thin at nose tackle. We got last year's 4th-round pick out of Kentucky, Deion Walker, who had a pretty good season for us as a rookie. The cupboard's bare behind him. We don't even have a backup at this point.
Wow.
So that is a need. But my favorite person in this draft for Buffalo is actually KC Concepcion. I love what he does. All 3 levels. He is absolutely sensational with the ball in his hands. He does have some drops issue, but those drops seem to be concentration. And if you're getting paid millions of dollars, that would earn my concentration, right? I think I can learn to catch a football. That's my full-time job. But we also need linebacker. We also need edge help. So there's a lot of needs. So I was looking around, and there's some players on the big board. I don't know if you guys have done you wasn't part of Brandon's draft the other night, right?
No, I was not. I wasn't on the show. No.
That's hurtful, Brandon. How do you not get my guy on your show for that?
No, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to file a grievance against Brandon for not having
you do. Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Hey, I wasn't on it either, but I paid attention to it and watched it. So when it comes down to me, there's a couple different options that I'm a fan of. And when you're looking at draft, and if we're going to be realistic with some names that could be there in the second round, say we drop back, players names like Denzel Boston, the big wide receiver out of Washington. He's a big body.
Some mock drafts, Jerry, have the Steelers taking him.
But no, he's a big body guy, and that gives the Steelers, kind of a perfect duo down there with your other guy who I won't mention.
Yeah, we have DK Metcalf, and now we have Michael Pittman from the
unbelievable pickup, by the way. I'm a huge Pittman fan, but if you look at the red zone target that Boston could turn into, but if you want to look at safety help, and we need safety help, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, he offers the flexibility.
Speaking of that, I just have it right here because I was going into some mock drafts to see what they were saying. Yahoo Sports has the Buffalo Bills taking that safety from Toledo, and Toledo in the last few years has come out with some good backfield people.
No question.
Backfield. They've had a couple corners that have gone in the first round or second round.
Very well coached.
Yes.
Very well coached there.
Yeah.
And what I think is what McNeil-Warren offers is flexibility in the secondary, because he can play that strong safety, but he can play that free safety as well, which I think is a big need in the secondary for Buffalo right now. Then my favorite player is KC Concepcion. He brings dynamic speed. And I think anytime you can get somebody that you can't coach speed, right? You can't teach speed. You have it or you don't have it, really. Yeah. And he's special. But then I'm a big linebacker guy as well. So I'm a big fan of Jacob Rodriguez. He's athletic. He could be a little bit of a project. But if you're looking at C.J. Allen from Georgia, everyone's talking about going to the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not against. He is a run-stopping he's going to be a green dot helmet guy for somebody. But a guy that I'm really liking is Malachi Lawrence, the edge rusher.
Yes.
He is going to – my gut just says –
Smokin Jim and I talked about him earlier.
Sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be – he's very athletic, and I think he's being overlooked somewhat. But then I have a whole list of – there's some big-time wide – this is a very deep edge, and it's a very deep wide receiver draft. Have you guys went into
we've done the wide receivers. We did the offense. We're done with that.
Let me throw some names at you to get your opinions.
Well, here, Buffalo Bills. Here, ESPN has Buffalo Bills taking Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana. Steelers are also. I saw a mock draft. Steelers were to take him too. So
Yeah, I think
ESPN has
Cooper
some
Jr. is definitely dynamic in many ways. He had the catch of the year in high school football. I mean, in college football this past year with Penn State. What a great game and a great catcher. One of the best catches I've ever seen. Very dynamic. But I'm looking at later round guys down the draft. I think you can sneak in like a Ted Hurst, who is unbelievable. Man, this kid is sensational.
I see a lot of late round gems in this whole draft, Jerry.
I agree.
In all positions, some great late round drafts. Or if Buffalo needs a kick returner and he could stay healthy, if I'm Buffalo, I'd look at Desmond Reed from Pitt. Desmond Reed played running back. But his problem with Desmond Reed is he's a small guy that gets hurt a lot, and he was hurt a lot at Pitt. But he can return kicks and punts, and and even run out of the backfield for a screen pass or something. So,
we need.
I'd take a look at that if they can get him.
Well, Ralph, we need a good punt returner. We had a all-pro kick returner.
Right.
Ray Davis from Kentucky. He was an all-pro this year,
right?
As a kick returner. What is your thoughts? One of my favorite players in the draft, if you want to talk defense, is Kevin Falk from Auburn. Very young, very athletic, and I'm seeing him just jump up draft boards. Originally, I thought we could probably snag him in the second round. I think he's going to move into the first round.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I believe that to be the case. That could happen. Auburn sometimes turns out some good players. They haven't for a while since Tupperville left, and they had Todd Moskin down there, and now they got I think Helmum's still there. He might be gone. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
I'm actually on the radio side. I'm still the Auburn affiliate. Work with the Auburn affiliate years. So I get a lot of contacts with those guys. Even though I'm a Notre Dame guy.
What's Auburn looking like this year? And I know you're a Notre Dame guy. What do you think of them? Notre Dame not participating in their bowl game or whatnot.
Actually, I was from a fan standpoint. I wanted to see them play. That's my team. I realized, but when you look at all the people who were going to not play in that game from a player standpoint, and Coach Freeman left it up to the team. The team voted that they did not want to play. Jeremiah Love, Jandavian Price, Malachi Fields, all these guys were not going to participate because they could not risk getting hurt and lowering their stock in the draft. I get that. If it would have been a Marcus Freeman decision, Ralph, I may be upset about it, but it was 100%. The team voted. That's the way the team wanted to do it. But this year, the mindset, this is the most physical Notre Dame team I've seen in a long time. And they're calling it the Leave No Doubt Tour. They're not casting blame on the people who didn't vote them in or the pollers or anything like that. They said, we didn't take care of our business. If we would have did what we were supposed to have done, we would have been in you can't make me think that they wasn't one of the best 12 teams in college football. But Ralph, you get this. I've watched your show. It's not set up to have the best 12 teams. That's not the way it's set up.
No, it's not. It's all politics. We all know that. And I'm not going to go into that, but
Yeah, no, that's a different show. I'll be happy to get in that with you. And
my adamacy about this NIL and this transfer portal. They need to start structuring some stuff here in the NCAA, Jerry, or this is going to go off the cliff. I mean,
it's trickling down to high school football. It's coming down to high school football. This would be my
Bridgewater. He got in trouble for doing something for his kids. Take him out.
Yeah, he should not have got in trouble for that. By the way,
no,
what he did, he wasn't. No. Yeah, I'm glad it came out, and now there's a Teddy Bridgewater rule. But here in Alabama, it's not technically allowed. There is no NIL in Alabama high school football. This will be my 26th year doing play-by-play in high school football. It's my passion. I absolutely love it. Wow. And we've seen some great players come through. But I'm telling you, within the next 2 years, NIL is here. It's coming. Yeah. But there's a big misunderstanding, guys, that between NIL and pay for play, it's different. But people just hear NIL and think, well, they're getting paid to play football. It's much deeper than that. And I would love to send some people on your show who know way more about it than me to talk to you about.
Here anytime, reach out to me. I'll have them on. We can have a whole show on that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's deep for
Yeah,
sure.
it can be deep. Yeah, I mean,
Well, where's the tough questions? Brandon said, Jerry, be careful. Have a cup of coffee ready because Ralph's going to hit you with something.
Yeah, I might hit you with some tough questions. We'll see. But right now, everything's working out. I mean, the questions I asked you about Joe Brady and the thought process up there, and
Sure.
I thought that was a pretty tough question. But how do you? What's the fans looking at right now? I mean, what is their thoughts on this new coaching staff? Or a lot of the McDermott fans? What's the fan? What are the fans in Buffalo saying right now?
From the fan standpoint, it was, why is Brandon Beane still here? That was the very first thing.
Wow. And he's the general manager, right?
He's the GM. Yeah, Brandon Beane's the general manager.
Yeah.
But no, it's an unbelievable amount of excitement. The people that he's brought in, the coaches, everyone's excited about Jim Leonard being the DC, and it's a unbelievable experienced coaching staff, and I think that's where he got it right. I think Joe Brady's like, I understand that I'm young, my first head coaching gig here, so let me surround myself with people that I can pull from their experience, that's been in this situation, that sat in these seats, and also just some very well thought out coaches who have many years at different positions, not just coordinators.
Pete Carmichael's his offensive coordinator. Wow,
absolutely right.
Oh, Pete Carmichael's been around. That guy.
That's what I'm saying, Ralph. Yeah. It's incredible what he's done.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Bobby April the third. This is Bobby April's son. Special teams coach. Coached with the Steelers. He was in the Super Bowl when we played Dallas in '95 and made the call to onside kick.
Onside kick, exactly right.
Yeah, April the 3rd. And then we got Joe Dana. He's been around, secondary coach. John Fox.
Yeah, that was the big key. Bringing John Fox in, I think, was a coup. Who was seen more than Fox?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, who has seen more as a coach than John Fox has?
Oh, I can't see anybody in here that would be. I mean, Jermaine Jameson's a good coach.
Oh, yeah, defensive line coach, right?
Yeah, Pat Meyer, offensive line. That's our offensive line coach. Oh, my.
Yeah, so he's building something special with this coaching staff.
Oh, my gosh. But you know what, though? That's a smart way of doing it. And I've said it many times. If you're a new coach, you got to go out there and get some guys, like you said, they've been there and done it. They've done the game, seen the game, played the game, that kind of thing. You can't just walk in there and think you know everything and not have the right assistants behind you. You got to get some experience in there for a first-year coach. You can't.
No, that's exactly right.
That's my gosh.
That's like doing a radio show and me not calling you for advice.
Right? Yeah, there you go. That's it. Smokin' Jim, any more questions for Jerry for anything? Notre Dame, anything?
No, sir.
All right. He's enjoying the conversation. He does that once in a while.
Okay, man. Hey, the Yankees don't come on until 7:40, so I'm free.
Nick Lacey, their strength and conditioning coach. I've heard his name around.
Yeah, he is a go-getter, man. Yeah, he is a go-getter.
Whoa. I mean, I got to give it to Joe Brady. He really put a staff together. Oh, my gosh. Jeez. Pete Carmichael. That name alone is oh, man. A lot of excitement in Buffalo this year. New stadium, new coach.
Right.
It's going to be great this year. I hope they make the pinnacle of getting to the Super Bowl and winning it this time, and things like that. And but anyway, I got some special questions I wanted to ask you here.
Now I'm nervous.
I wanted to ask you about your journey and who you know.
And who I know?
Yeah, and your journey. That's what I wanted to ask.
Well, who I know, I'm like, I got no skills. I'm like Red from Shawshank Redemption. I just know everybody.
You just know everybody. Yeah,
that's kind of my claim to fame is I just know a lot of people when I'm coming up, I had the pleasure of playing with people like Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie Kitchens. There's a name.
Patrick Nix.
He was just fired from North Carolina. He was working under Bill Belichick. Freddie Kitchens just got fired. So
he'll get picked up pretty quickly.
He will.
Carnell Williams. These are all people from my high school.
Wow,
so
Carnell Williams. I remember him.
Yeah, we have a great area now. And high school sports, in Alabama is pretty special. So
Oh,
my
I know it
roots,
is. I know.
my roots are here in
Football as a whole in Alabama is special because, Alabama is one of them states, kind of like Nebraska, Montana,
sure.
the Dakotas. I'm talking about where college and high school football and little guy football, whatever kind of football it is, they don't care if it's in the mud.
That's
It's
exactly
football,
right.
and they'll
We
show
prefer
up.
it. Prefer it that way.
Exactly, and that's and those are the ones that have the toughest universities in football too.
There's no pro teams here in Alabama, so
right.
we really
you have a UFL team.
No, absolutely right, and it's
and
very successful. Me to be a Notre Dame guy, of course, I was unbelievably excited when Skip Holtz led that to three championships. Yeah. And now the passing of Lou is devastating. What a legend.
You know what? I used to have arguments. I drove a cab for a living for 15 years.
I could see that.
And thank you. 35 years in customer service, man.
You've seen it all.
Yes, I have. Absolutely. But when I was driving a cab, I've seen it all too. I had Herb Brooks in my cab, the Olympic coach.
Yeah.
He was coaching with the Penguins. I was the Penguins' personal cab driver. I had a Marc-Andre Fleury in my cab.
Wow.
I had Steelers in my cab. I was Mike Webster's personal cab driver. And I got to tell you, it was sad to see Mike Webster go. And I said something to somebody yesterday because I had to go to a doctor's appointment. I don't know if you noticed, I'm in a wheelchair.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair. I had to go to a doctor's appointment yesterday. And this woman and I were talking about Will Smith. And she said, I like that movie he was in called Concussion. Sad what happened to Mike Webster. I said, I'll give you the true death of Mike Webster. He did not die like that. Okay. Oh, wow. They did that for the movies.
Yeah.
And Terry Long was the one who unfortunately sucked down antifreeze and killed himself because he had concussion syndromes.
That's exactly
Mike Webster did not do that. Mike Webster did live in his truck for a little while, but he did not kill himself like that. He ended up in the hospital with a heart attack. So that's what happened with Mike Webster. And I know that because when he died, his son called me on the phone and said, Ralph, my dad died. So, wow. Man.
So isn't being a cabbie, I must not being a Catholic priest. I mean, what happens in the cab stays in it. It's like a confessional booth, right?
Yeah. No, it's not a handy. I mean, I have some other radio shows. I have the Ralph Williams show, and I usually sometimes I do a cab special where I'll talk about all my cab stories over the 15 years I've been in a cab. Athletes I've had. I had the Star Trek crew in my cab. I'm not going to go into that. This is a sports program, but I had the actual Star Trek crew in my cab.
That's incredible.
I had what's his name, Schlefkoff. I had the Dorothy. I had her in there, and I had George Takei.
So, heck yeah. Hey, let me throw a question to both you and Jim. How high does Jeremiah Love get drafted? What's his
Smokin Jim could tell you that one. He's a scout. He's been a scout for over 40 years. He used to be a scout with the Steelers. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, even though my man Mel Kiper said he would never ever draft a running back in the first round, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's great. He got Jeremiah Love
Mel Kiper, man.
He got Jeremiah Love going top 5. So I would say top 5.
Yeah. If you look at some of these mock drafts, I think some of them do have him in there, so.
I actually have him ranked as he's my number 2 person on my personal big board. Of course, I have Mendoza number 1. I have Jeremiah Love after, watching every snap he's ever played in college ball. Maybe I'm a little biased. That dude is just special.
They have him going to Yahoo Sports, Jerry, has him going to the New York Giants.
I could see that, but his accountant doesn't want him to go to New York for those taxes. We need to get him to New Orleans.
Yeah.
More tax breaks.
Yeah. I had a guy on last week named Ryan Neal from Amped Up Sports. He spoke about the New Orleans Saints, and they're finally out of cap hell. And
yes,
he said they're finally going to be able to do something. I gave a lot of kudos to Kellen Moore. I thought he had New Orleans was competitive last year. Very competitive. They lost games by 3, 4 points, 7 points. I don't think they even got blown out in any games. And they took some guys to the limit. So I think they're coming around. Kellen Moore's going to get them there. It's just going to take some time. Rome wasn't built in a day, as Brandon would say.
Sure.
And so, and I've heard that saying many times, but Brandon really likes it. Rome wasn't built in a day, and he's right. I mean, it's the truth. It takes a while to get the team going.
When Brandon says that, though, he's talking about Rome, Georgia.
Rome, Georgia. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Rome wasn't built in a day. And also, you also got, things. It takes a while to build something, to build a team. And if you're a first-year coach, sometimes you can get lucky. Okay. And I think Ben Johnson this year, he did good. I thought, Liam Cohen, nobody thought Jacksonville was going to make it to the playoffs. Nobody. And, and for him to do that, for them two guys to do that as a first-year coach, that's impressive. And Ben Johnson kind of got lucky too, because I'll tell you why. I watched a couple games where his defense was undisciplined, and Dennis Allen had to get them back in order, because there was a couple games they lost because of stupid penalties that the defense was undisciplined, and at the beginning. But then once the season got the rest of the way, Dennis Allen got him in control there. So hey, how about Matt Everfluss getting fired down in Dallas? Man, he can't dodge a break. He was with the Bears for a while, and and he got fired. So
I'll be honest, I despise Dallas in every sense of the word.
Well, Smokin Jim and I have an active interest in Dallas with George Pickens, because we thought that even though George Pickens was a problem child, I think the Steelers should have gave him his one more year.
I agree.
And then ship him out if he didn't think he was right. But what they did was they had to eat it, and then they sent him to Dallas, and DK Metcalf didn't have a second receiver to back him up. And
is that where you guys go first round? Does Pittsburgh go wide receiver?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. If I'm the Steelers, I'd load up on wide receivers, because Mike McCarthy's West Coast offense requires a lot of throwing to the receiver.
Well, this is the draft for that. If you're just looking, and there's some, there's some discontent among the elite, like the Mel Kipers and those guys, about rating the class. But I think most everyone thinks that Carnell Tate is number one as far as the wide receiver. Malachi Lemon is special. Jordan Tyson, is his health going to allow him to move up the board? But then from Omar Cooper to Denzel Boston, the big kid out of Tennessee, is that Broswell? He's very special. Then if Chris Bell, and from Alabama here, Germany Bernard, and Malachi Fields, Antonio Williams up in Clemson, and Zachariah Branch.
They have the Steelers taking Antonio Williams. There's a draft I looked at, USA Today has the Steelers taking Antonio Williams in the second round.
Well, I got to see a lot of him from my contacts. The new head coach here at Sanford in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, Sanford! There's a blast from the past. Bruce Arians coached there.
Yeah, so he was an analyst at Clemson, and I'm talking about John Gross, who used to be the old head football coach at Jacksonville State University. Then the last several years he's been on the staff at Clemson, and he says Antonio Williams, his routes and his hands is good as anyone he has ever coached or ever been around. If John Gross says that, I believe it.
Okay, Draft Buzz, NFL Draft Buzz has Antonio Williams at number 11 of their top 12. Okay. That's the NFL Draft Buzz, and I go by there because usually their stuff's pretty right. They have them going there, and they have Tate at number 3 from Ohio State. Yeah, they have him at number 3. They have the Jordan Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have him at number 1. And Lemon is at number 2. So,
I can see that. Jordan Tyson is probably the most athletically gifted wide receiver in the class, but he gets hurt so often. It's tough to roll the dice on him. There's a name though that I want to throw out to you guys and write this in Sharpie. I'm that convinced that somewhere in this draft, someone is gonna roll the dice on Malik Benson from Oregon. This kid, and I watched every snap that he played the past 2 years, but he never really doesn't get the credit I think he deserves. He's a bigger kid. He runs in the low 4.4s. I think 4.42.
Malik Benson, I got him right here. Ran a 4.37 in the 40, 6 feet 189.
Yeah, this kid is special, but he's a quiet kid, doesn't get into trouble, runs great routes, great. He's very, I love being able to talk football with guys who know football. So he gets open. Not every separator is just based on speed or quickness.
Right.
It's setting people up at the top of the stem of his route. He does that as good as anybody that I've ever seen. He's special. He's going to be a day 3 guy. I think it's going to end up being a steal of this draft. And Bryce Lance, or a lot of people are focused on him, but I think Ted Hurst, Jacoby Lane are going to also, looking back next year when we're having the same conversation. I'm gonna put it in my phone here so I can come back on and talk this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you want to come on after the draft, you're welcome to it too. I mean, you're welcome to come on.
No, I appreciate the hospitality, man. I don't know that I deserve.
No, anytime, man. Anytime. Anybody's a friend of Brandon's a friend of mine. So and always welcome to the show. Smokin' Jim, do you have any final comments? Because we're gonna wrap the show up here for Jerry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm glad he mentioned Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst just a physical specimen, very productive, NFL ready, and somebody's going to get a steal there. I've always been high on Malachi Fields.
Absolutely.
I wasn't surprised when he ran in the 40, but I just hate that the NFL, Jerry, they say you go to the combines, it can't hurt you, but it can only help you, but it hurts a lot of people. And I think it hurt Malachi, but somebody's going to get a steal maybe in the 3rd round with that kid.
Look at the catch he made against Pittsburgh. I don't mean to throw salt in the wound there with you guys. Unbelievable catch. That was incredible. And he's one of those guys that just makes plays. And he did it at Virginia before he transferred to this 1 year at Notre Dame. And I think he is incredible. He's a leader, big hands, goes and gets the ball, high points it. I'm with you. But Ted Hurst, I just watched at one.
He had some good games against Pitt when he was with Virginia.
He did. He loved playing. He loved playing against Pitt.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime.
I like that linebacker for Pitt. I wouldn't mind that kid going to Buffalo.
Yeah, he's rated number 11 by the NFL Draft Buzz.
I like him, but I watched Ted Hurst today during lunch with my wife. We went and it's beautiful here in Alabama today. We sat outside on the river, had a pizza, and during that, I was just watching Ted Hurst, and he is just raw, Jim. And I know you being a scout, but you talk about getting to a team who has a wide receiver coach that can mold him. He has all the tools. He has more physical tools than maybe anybody in the draft. He's just very, very raw. Didn't get the coaching at Georgia State that he may have got at a USC or a Pitt or a Notre Dame or wherever. I think in the right system and the right coach to mold him, man, he's special.
Yes, he is. Okay, Jerry, thank you for being part of the program. We're going to wrap things up here.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
Anytime, Jerry. And you have any last minute, anything you want to ask Jerry, Smokin' Jim, before he goes?
I tell you what, it's baseball season, and Jerry just hit a grand slam.
That's right. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I appreciate you, fellas, and I would be remiss
to have you on the show. Thank you.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say. I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings here, but hey, if your mother is still around, your father's still around, go see him for Easter service. Right? Get to church with your family. Love you guys. Thank you.
We're my mom lives with me and my wife here, and so we'll be doing that, and we're gonna hit a buffet here.
Praise the Lord.
Easter buffet, yes, and praise the Lord
guys.
For Easter. Yes, thank you.
Amen.
All right, that was Jerry White, and I got to tell you, Smokin' Jim, what a guest we had on today, Jerry White.
Well, you are the booking machine. You book the best, man. Each and every week, man. There's nobody even close to you, brother.
I appreciate that. Thank you, and a great show from Outlaw Sports Network says we did a great show. Thank you for that, and I want to invite you to come back on or tune in next week. We have Marcus McCullum coming on talking about the Chicago Bears and working on some other guests as well. Specialists, folks that cover the team, folks that maybe do play-by-play for the team. I'm looking at getting some great experts on here as well. And please don't forget to tune in to our Wrestle Talk special on April 20th. Mark us on your calendar, April 20th, 7:00 p.m. on right here on the Sports Nuts Network, and also on my pages as well. We're going to have Wrestle Talk special post WrestleMania. We're going to talk both nights, dissect everything, matches, what happened, what should have happened, what could have happened and didn't happen. We will be dissecting all that on the Wrestle Talk special on April 20th, 7:00 p.m. For Smokin' Jim Frazier, I'm Ralph Williams. Until next week, have yourself a great one. And please, by all means, be safe. Have a happy and blessed Easter. Thank you.